Good afternoon, my name is Kevin Jones. My next speech is on why the divorce rate is so high in the military. The toll for the nation's long war is evident for the military homes. The divorce rate is armed forces edged up again. In the past, despite the programs to help struggling couples, and the rate now is full percentage point higher than around the time of the attacks of September 11, 2001. There were estimated 27,312 divorces among roughly 765 married members of active duty, Army, Air Force, Navy, and Marines. And the budget last year ended up September 30th. Why is the military divorce just edged up again for the 10th year of war? Well, according to the Department of Defense, the reports that divorce rate of about 3.6% for the fiscal year 2010 compared to 3.4% in the earlier year. According to the figures, the Department of Defense Manpower Data Center, marriages among reservists fell at a rate of 2.8% compared to 2.7% in the previous year also. So that tells me and shows me alarming figures. So why is they so high? We first got to understand what is the reason for divorce. It's probably because the stress of people deploying, going back, combat, it takes a toll on people. Some people edge, not knowing, wondering if the loved one is going to return, and the person that's deploying is wondering about the family members back home. Is everything going to be alright while they're not there? Because they're usually in charge and handling everything and make sure everything's smooth sailing. So that says a lot. So we just have to sit there and wonder, what can we do to make it better, to where it's a sounded good foundation at home to make things much better, because right now it's totally out of hand. So we also got to understand the facts that constant deployment, like I said, the communicating with spouses, children, have a dramatic effect on a relationship. Then I will dissolve the disadvantages and advantages and find proper resolution to make relationships stronger. So the first thing we got to do is, like I said, I named the first one is why divorces, deployment play a role in divorces. Like I said, somebody's not used to somebody not being there, and then when they go on a long period of time, they can't deal with it. So they say, I'm not used to you going like this. I want to have somebody here that's around constantly, because I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be left alone, and that takes its toll on a person. So you got to make sure you're careful who you you're compatible with, and make sure your spouse or whoever is on the same sheet of music that you are, and willing to do this, and understand it's going to be times that you're going to be gone. Because if you don't have a strong foundation in your relationship, it's going to take a toll to where you can't sit back and adjust and do your job properly in a professional manner, which is not very good. And that's probably causing a lot of people on accidents getting killed over there in different deployment situations. So, and like I say, number one is constant pressure from the spouse or from whoever, and arguing and things like that. That's not good. Keeping things built up. If something's not going well, you got to tell the other one. That's where the communication plays a big effect. So you got to say, hey, I'm not happy, or this is what's going on with me, and you got to make sure that they understand that, because if they don't, you're going to let yourself up for failure. Why is divorces constantly increasing? Military personnel are returning home, but not the way that they left. They're coming home different, with frustration, anger. Things happen over there changed them psychologically. Their mind frame is not the same, so they don't think the same way. So you got to sometimes give them time to come back in and transition back into the household, and don't expect them to just take full control of everything before they left. So give them time to ease through, because they've seen a lot of things over there that most average Americans and people haven't seen. So, and that consists of people dying, people get shot, bombings. I mean, that plays a dramatic effect on the way you think and the way you feel, and it changes your attitude, because sometimes people in our country don't realize how good we have it, and we got to make sure we take full advantage of it. advantages, what we can do. Uh, have faith in a good church and join as a family. Leaving one's new role of being in charge. That means if your spouse is in charge, let her be in charge until you get back into things and transition back and everything. You don't have to just jump right back in and be in charge. Let her do it. If she's doing a good job, like I said, somebody always said a long time ago, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So you gotta look at that. Disadvantages, the breakdown, losing confidence in oneself. You might thinking that, I can't take it because I'm here, she's there, and then she'll say that, she can't take it, then she'll tell you that she don't think it's going to work, and it takes a toll on you too. So you got to sometimes be strong and understand it. And the communication, keep in pain. If you're going through something over there, especially when you're deployed, you got to let somebody know that you're going to somebody. See the chaplain or something while you're over there. And now for the spouse or the kids, if they going through something while you're going, make sure they get the proper help and see somebody and talk to people and make sure everything is good, because that's important too. So we have to do that. A lot of times people just start thinking that, taking medication. You can't just take medication. Medication doesn't solve everything. So you got to make sure that you see the proper physician and find out and get diagnosed for the proper problem that you have, because medication is not the key, not the answer to everything. Regroup. Take control of your relationship. Get back. Do things together. Get to renew each other. Find out. It can be some changes, and sometimes you got to be willing to accept change and learn from it. Just start remembering that life is important and that family is the only one you can lean on, because when it's all said and done, family is all you have, and that's a strong foundation. And like I will tell you before, the first thing you want to definitely do is research and make sure you get the right program, see the right physician, and make sure everything is good, because a happy home makes a happy man or a happy woman and a happy life. So if we do that, I think we can get a grip on this thing about divorces and bring the rate down. And that's all the conclusion I have for this speech. And thank you. And